What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Run 7 show. As always, feel free to skip ahead. Here's the highlights from the previous 2 months. Welcome to Kids Stream, everybody, where it's nothing but chaos the entire time. Making dreams come true. Oh, easy street. Anytime you can auto anything, you should. Everybody and their robotic mother is watching us right now. Somebody hit the live alert. You never know when you're gonna catch me with my pants down. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't try to look like a dumb teenager for vanity reasons. I'm Keanu Reeves! I'll put a lot of things in my mouth. I don't want to put that in my mouth. She's interactive. I don't mind objectifying women, I just don't want to torture them. Do what makes you happy, even if it's having your testicles stepped on by a woman in stilettos. She sounds more mentally stable than my ex-wife. Cause he's gonna pay me, lady. I do things for money. Bunch of tree-hugging hippies. Don't point at me, not at my face, and not at the crotch. You steal somebody's car and people try to murder you. How is that even fair? If they're deaf and blind and only have one leg, I might be able to get them. I know you're all on sugar highs from stealing your kids' candy, but y'all need to go to bed at some point. She's saying that your safe word should have less than 5 syllables.
Sure.
That's too much for me. I don't want to f my video game. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Rello comes in here and gets it? Frickin' Rello gets it? I'm sorry, that was the opposite of what I wanted to happen right there.
Oh, you wanna go? You wanna go?
It's as chaotic in this room as it is on the screen. I just want you guys to know. My genius has amazing amounts of creativity to solve these problems. I'm doing good enough this month that I'm not taking any sort of donate. Well, I'm always taking donations, Chad. Feel free to donate anytime you want. So far, we're the friendliest murderers in the history of Arc Raiders. Damn it if I can't help myself but be nice to people. It's all your fault, West. I'm perfect and you're wrong. This is a handsome facade, guys. I'm not gonna blemish this. I'd rather die pretty. Run 7. Oops, that wasn't what I meant to do. That wasn't what I meant to do. I was trying to heal and I threw a grenade at myself. Oh, man. Great, guys. Thanks for the support, Chad. Appreciate it.
I hate you so much.
If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to stop by my live Twitch stream anytime you want to with me. She wouldn't sleep with us, but still, that probably just means she's classy. I'm pushing my buttons. You're pushing my buttons. I'm in trouble. 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 Just remember, guys, little swords get to go hill deep. I'm gonna ground my son for making me play this. We got all 3! I am the greatest ever! So, I just had the most brilliant idea while I was outside peeing on a bush. Fuck it. Let's have some fun.
Oh boy. Well, at least I didn't have a heavy load out.
Oh no! Ah! Holy shit! I didn't realize what I was getting into. Oh my God! Run! Run! Lower! Lower! Not too low! Not too low! Ah! Ooh! Ah! That was in the chest. All right. Ah! 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 Ah!
Okay.
Ah!
Hang on a second.
I won. No countdown? Really? Holy fuck balls! Thank you very much. Wow, Cyberpunk just getting better every time we play it. Whatever, look up at that night sky and remember me, bitches. I got the best viewers. I swear. I met a pimp today. Retired pimp. He said that he got rid of all of his bitches. That's an industry terminology, not a disrespectful term. His words, I don't know. Anyway, he got rid of all the employees because they were complaining that they didn't have health care. And then he became an electrician. Anyway, he was hanging out with me today while I was patching pavement. He's just having a smoke and telling me some of the best stories I've heard in a long time. It was quite a delight to have this person around. I was excited. I've never met a legitimate pimp in person. And believe me, this guy, like the stories this guy had to tell, I'm certain he was a genuine pimp back in his day. Now he's a 57-year-old electrician, but that was pretty fun. That was entertaining. Anyway, today we're going to be doing our rating of Sing Street. It is a horrible, horrible film from start to finish. I'm probably going to be giving this thing a 0. I did not like it at all. Full of child actors and bad music. I hate musicals. I hate child actors. It was British, had weird humor in it that made me uncomfortable, and I hated it. It was terrible. So we're gonna rate it. Also the biggest, it's Dan's movie, so we gotta tank it, right? So we're gonna be going over that. And in the meantime, I'm gonna be waiting for Dan to start the this R rating thing, the restream. We gotta connect there. So I'll click join as a guest and see where he's at on this. Doesn't look like he's ready to go just yet. We'll bring this music down. Like that, about there. And yeah. Let's get ready for our rating. If Dan, waiting for the host to join. He's put in the title, but he hasn't bothered to join yet. That's how conceited for this movie Dan is. I'm not sure if I'm using that word right. Dan's not really a conceited person, but he's pretty obsessed with this movie. So I think we got to bring him down a couple notches. So once we join chat, be sure to say horrible, horrible things about Sing Street, which, by the way, the school that the kids go to is Sing, S-Y-N-G, not S-I-N-G, Sing Street. And yet they call the movie Sing Street as in singing, like S-I-N-G. I mean, I get it, I guess, but it was just kind of weird. That one threw me for a loop. I speak for England when I say this. We don't take responsibility for Sing Street. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to tear it apart. We're going to rip this one up real good. Dan doesn't get to make us sit through a movie like this without us just trashing it from start to finish. I do need to rate this, put my numbers down here, and so that I have a real legitimate scoring. Let's do that. The plot, really? See, I don't want to give anything away, so I got to do this internally. But at the same time, I don't want you guys to sit and watch my forehead as I mumble numbers to myself either. So maybe I should have done this beforehand. Man, I've got Colay all over my arms. Do you guys know what Colay is? Colay is CPR, I think it's called CPR cold patch. It's cold asphalt that you can fill into a pothole and patch it. There's a hot mix and there's a cold mix. Cold mix is what's available to the public for the most part. I mean, privately you can go buy it too, but it's real expensive and they do it by the truckload. So the hot mix is what they use to actually pave roads with, and it lasts. The cold mix is what they use to patch holes. The city that I live in didn't do a fantastic job of utilizing their cold patch skills, and so the potholes, they only filled in for like a couple of months and then they would just get washed out. But this company, they wanted me to pack in their driveway. It was for a coffee stand in Greensville, Texas. And they wanted perfection in like everything. I painted for them. I did some PVC work. I did some plumbing. And then they wanted me to patch the driveway too. And they wanted perfection in everything, which is fine by me. I just take my time and do it right. And so I was out there doing it like you're supposed to do, which is clean out the pothole, make sure the sidewalls are straight up and down as much as possible, and then you pack it in layers, and then after you've packed it all in, you sprinkle sand over it and you drive your vehicle across it a couple of times to really pack it in, unless you got a whacker packer. That's basically a big heavy machine that jumps up and down on it. And so that's what I did, and it looked beautiful. I was really proud of it, and I'm going to make a bunch of money from working for those guys because they paid me for travel time, and it was almost a 2-hour drive out there and back. So I was knocking out 11, 12-hour days every day, even though I was only working, 8 or 9 hours. So it was super lucrative gig, and everybody was happy with my work, and they're having me go out to more of these coffee stands. I'm really excited about it. So that's going to be cool. But I do have collate. Collate is a slang term. Collate, I don't even know where that term came from. It's kind of like people call them stickers instead of dunnage or two-befores. They call them stickers. Maybe you never heard that's a trucking term, but it's just a made-up word, collate. I think it's derived from cold patch that you lay out or something. So collate, or I don't know. Anyway, they call it collate. And so I got collate all over me, which doesn't remove easily. I got to get some denatured alcohol or something to rub it off. The plot, it was a coming of age movie with not really much going on there. Oh, Dan's here. I got to be quiet. I can't give away my secrets. All right, so we're going to give plot -4 because it was just a standard coming of age movie.
I was gonna say, like, I know you know I'm here.
Okay.
How's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's going pretty good. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Are you gonna knock on my door? Come and knock on my door.
I'm not live yet. I just wanted to check, make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. We're looking good. You do anything or just killing time?
I'm writing down my scores for the categories of this film and just kind of killing. I just went live like 11 minutes ago.
Okay. I have a game left over from last week. If you want to bang that real quick before we get to.
Absolutely, I do.
Woo! All right, give me a second. Let me go live and I'll knock and then we'll get this out. Oh, there it is.
Let's see here. Where's my calculator? What is this game? Like, what are we doing? What's the concept?
It's the same one we've done before, where it's like 10 movies based off of one screenshot.
Oh, okay.
On time travel, because I was supposed to have it ready for Primer, and I just didn't quite get it set up in time.
Oh, it's based on... Okay, but it'll still go with that video?
Yeah,
Or...
I mean, it'll still go on, you know, Prime video's already live, Primer video is already live on YouTube, so if a short comes out at any point, it's fine.
That's weird. That's an interesting score.
Huh. I've never had one so high before.
Nope.
What am I doing?
Okay, I do think because I'm like I averaged out all this stuff and my final score is this, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't feel right. So I think when we discuss it, there's going to be a lot of fluctuation here, and we'll see what happens.
Terrible child actors trying to play horrible music. I wasn't even that mean to your movie. You should be the one trying to get back at me.
Oh yeah, Will's movie came in bottom row, didn't it?
Maybe it did. All right, I knocked, I believe.
Oh, thank you. Didn't notice that. There we go. All right, there we go. Let's see what happens.
I don't see anything having come up.
Did my hello pop up in your chat?
You must be live in order to. Am I not live? I'm not live.
It does not look like you were live.
All right. Well, good thing I didn't try and record the game yet.
So if you're trying to view this from Dan's stream, try again. And for those of you 8,000 people watching on my stream, if you would like to maybe get a cheap way around advertising, you can always have Dan's window open, and if I happen to be rolling an ad, Dan might not be, and you can swap over to his stream. I usually have some background music playing while we do this. Dan does not, because he likes a clean recording for YouTube. And of course, if you don't prefer live, come on, it's live. You can always catch our videos on YouTube.
Not only that, but we're actually. Why was it not letting me go live?
There it goes. There it goes.
I was gonna say there's just an issue going on, but all right, now we're live.
There we go.
We're streaming together again. There we go. Must be live for the chats to work. Come on, it'll work, right?
Is my chat message coming up on your side?
Wonderful D's came up. I haven't seen it.
Oh, well.
You.
Well, then don't worry about
Sharing
it.
chat. Okay, now it's shared.
Oh, there it is. Share chat. Okay, now it's going.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Absolutely. I was born ready. Let's do this.
All right, this week on our rating, we're talking about Primer, the indie movie all about time travel. So I've got 10 different time travel movies for Brian. He's gonna have to guess them based off of one screenshot. He's got 1 minute to see how far he gets. Let's see how well he does. Brian, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, Dan.
All right, movie number 1. Can you name that movie?
Yeah, Back to the Future.
Excellent.
I almost want to say Back to the Future too. That's gonna be Terminator.
That's correct. 3. None of these are super hard, I don't think.
Oh, Hot Tub Time Machine.
That's correct.
12 Monkeys.
Excellent, excellent. I know we brought that one up, so.
That's Iron Man. That's Tony Stark from the Avengers movie. Which Avengers movie is it though? That's the problem. That's the one where he's trapped out in space. Is that's not Endgame? That's the one before it.
It is Endgame.
It is Endgame? Okay.
It is Endgame. I'll give it to you because you said it.
Too many. That's Looper. That's a great time travel movie right there. Love that one. Oh, dang it. I know this one. Oh, I know this one. I'm gonna have to pass though. The name's not coming to mind. It's not even close. Oh, that's Tenet. Tenet's a great one too. I like that one. Not great acting, but it's a good movie. That's Time Machine. On the nose there.
Well, yeah. I'll lay one.
That's got to be, I want to say like First Class or one of the X-Men one where they send Wolverine back in time. What the heck was that? It wasn't First Class. It was X-Men Origins maybe?
Nope. Oh, it's a very famous title. All right, well, it's just these two.
It's just those two. I recognize both of them. I can't draw which X-Men it was. I mean, I know which X-Men movie it was. I just don't know the title of that movie because once again, there's too many Marvel movies out there. This one sure looks like Time Bandits to me, but I'm not sure if that's it. It might be something else.
I mean, you've got who do you think you're looking at right there?
Who do I think I'm looking at?
Like, who is this character?
It's not who I thought it was because I was thinking. No, because not Dr. Munchin. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong movie then.
It's possible. We're way over the 1 minute, so.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go give it to me, because
this is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh,
they have to go back and find all the historical people and bring them forward. For
I was way off. Yeah, that's Napoleon, yeah, Bonaparte.
Yeah, like a cheese or something.
I was way off on a different tangent. And then this one, I just can't remember what the name of this movie is. I know the movie, I just don't. Which X?
Wonderful D had it in chat. It's Days of Future Past.
Oh, Days of Future Past. I should have known that one since they try and travel in it. So yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's a little cheaty because they kind of just like send their consciousness back, but no, quick, get off screen. All right, since you've already done this before, I'm going to put you in the corner and bring Will out and have him play around.
Okay.
We'll get into this.
Can I watch quietly?
Absolutely, you can.
All right.
Clean's Canadian Corner. What's this about?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, can you guys hear me right now?
For a game?
Oh,
Doesn't sound like they can hear me right
Have
now.
you been watching Brian's stream?
No. I just.
Excellent. So I get to make fun of them while they get things wrong.
Before 10 movie clips, because we did Primer last week. I made this last week. I just didn't get time to put it together.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're in 10 time travel movies. If you're up for that.
Okay, great.
Come on.
Get wrecked.
I'm hoping he only gets 7.
All right, this week on our rating, we're talking about the indie darling, indie cult classic, I guess. All right, this week on our rating, we're talking about the indie cult classic Primer, which is all about time travel. So I've got 10 different time travel movies to show to Will. See how many he can guess in 1 minute. Will, you're ready to go?
Let's do this.
All right,
Get
movie number
wrong.
1. Starting
Go
off
back
pretty
in- Oh yeah, you been back into the future.
nice. All right, and you can pass at any time if you have to.
Ooh, that looks like an 80s electric ball of Terminator. The
That's
Terminator.
correct.
I can only guess. I think I saw the hot tub time machine once.
That is it. I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but we'll go with it.
Hope he gets stumped on this. Come on.
Ooh.
Come on. No fan of Bruce Willis. Let's go. Get it wrong.
Pass.
Yeah. That's right. That's 1.
That's Avengers Endgame.
Oh, man. He got that easy.
Oh, that
Looper. Everybody knows that
Well
one.
done,
That was
well done.
easy.
Oh, yeah. We watched this actually not too long ago. Sometimes my wife puts on movies just to fall asleep to. This is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Dang it.
Well done. Well done.
Come on. Get him.
Tenet?
Oh, dang it.
Okay, I've never seen it.
This one's easy.
Oh, it's an interesting one.
Oh no! That was the oh, that's Guy Pearce.
It is.
The Time Machine.
Oh, my God. No.
Past.
Close enough. Days of Future Past. We'll give
Oh, no. He's going to crush
What
me.
you missed. You're doing really well.
No.
Yes, we did discuss
The
it.
Bruce Willis movie.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, a million times. 12 Monkeys is definitely a time travel movie.
Okay.
You got the
12
movie.
Monkeys. 12
There it
Monkeys.
is.
Dang it.
Well
Talk about
done.
this.
Dang it.
Well
I
done.
watch a lot of time travel movies, I guess.
I can't believe you crushed me on time travel movies. Of all things.
Well, funnily enough, it's the comedy that stumped you.
Yeah.
You were good on.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Hot
Bill,
Tub Time Machine one or
no, Bill and Ted's
Bill and Ted.
threw me for a loop. I thought it was Time Bandits, and it was not even close. And then I couldn't get the name of Days of Future Past. I knew the movie, I just couldn't remember what name it was
Yeah, I
because
don't know. I definitely didn't say it right either.
there's closer than me.
12 Monkeys is a time travel movie. You never actually see the time machine per se, but they are living in a dystopian future underground, and they have to send him back into the early 90s to find out. what
Don't they
happened.
just accordion him into a wall and he just travels in through time? Like they don't.
It's kind of like Primer, where you never really see it. It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
You know that it happened. It's one of those, like you were talking about with Primer, where it's like, we don't really care how it happens. That's not the point.
Yeah,
The
that's
point is-
exactly. That's why I like 12 Monkeys so much, because it has such an interesting story that happens to have time travel involved in it, and I think that's really cool.
we don't get bogged down in the how or the why. It's just
Right.
no. This is a detective-ish story, and yeah, I'm a fan of that one. I watched it recently, and it was like, oh, this isn't quite. Okay, so I watched it recently, trying to show it to my daughters, thinking this is a really fun movie, and it's like, for a 12-year-old, this is a little slow, but like I like it.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right,
I only got Bill and Ted's because literally probably 6 months ago, the wife threw it on to fall asleep to, and I got hooked on watching.
You said that it's one of the ones you guys watch, have seen a little bit to like fall asleep to though, like that. I don't know. I picked 12 Monkeys with Brian in mind. I picked Bill and Ted with you in mind. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
that's so funny. That's so funny. That's fair. That's fair.
Now, Excellent Adventure or Bogus Journey? Which one?
Excellent Adventure. I'm not the biggest fan, and I saw them way too late. I didn't see them at the time, but I think
Yeah.
Excellent Adventure was better for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, the Bogus Journey gets pretty weird. I mean, they're both pretty.
Yeah,
weird.
they're both pretty weird.
The third one I watched with a buddy, which is the only reason I watched it and the only reason I had any fun with it. But like, it was just such a stupid movie to just have fun at its expense almost. Like it was in on the joke of how dumb it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
trying to be like, this is real in any way. And there were some parts that were like, oh my God, I can't believe what's happening right now. But
Hey, Brian, I like how we both picked the gymnasium.
The Gymnasium, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, it's
one of
nice.
you has the dream sequence, one of you has the real one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. It is after 9. Do we want to just jump right into this thing? You guys got anything going on, or?
No, I think I'm good to just jump in.
I met a pimp today.
Okay.
Sorry.
By
We do this all the time. What's like for you?
By appointment or by accident?
By accident, yeah. He retired pimp, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he got rid of all of his
Congratulations
bitches.
on the new job.
That's an industry terminology, by the way. Not supposed to mean a term of disrespect, his words. But he got rid
That's
of
an industry term for disrespect. but
yeah,
sure.
but anyway, he got rid of them because they were complaining of their lack of health care. So he got rid of them and he became an electrician. And I met him on the job site today. He was doing the electrical and I was patching the pavement. And he had some fantastic stories that really cracked me up and really made my day today. So it's kind of been on my mind.
That's awesome.
Funny.
All right. So because this is my movie, Brian or Will, do one of you want to pose the question to me the same way we've done it for you guys the last 2 times? Like, what do I think you guys are gonna rate
Sure.
this thing? Other than that, I think we'll just kind of do the normal thing. Will starts off. I'll do the intro and whatnot, and then maybe Brian, if you want to.
Well,
I'll point out, like, neither of you have seen this before. We'll discuss that like we always do. But then if you want to throw it to me, be like, hey, what do you think these guys score will be? I think that's a fun little game we can play with these.
Yeah.
And we'll just get into a regular discussion as per, and then go from there.
Because Will's gonna open and then you're gonna do the intro and then what comes after that then?
I'll do my intro, and I'll ask you guys, even though I know the answer, just for the sake of the show, I'll ask
Just
you guys,
how
like,
we're
have you ever
doing.
seen this before? You ever heard it?
Right.
You can do your brief little, like, no, like, you discussed, or whatever you want to say on that point. And then when you're done that, Brian, if you want to just. So, Dan, this is your pick. What do you think
I think
our scores are going to be?
Dan, I think after you do your intro and you open the camera up to all 3 images, why don't you just I'll just take it and I'll be like, so Dan, are you nervous about us? Because neither of us saw this coming in. What are you thinking our scores are going to be? Something like that. A little more authentic. Because we talked about this plenty and we know that neither Will nor I have seen this. So
I know that, but the audience hasn't, and every episode is potentially somebody's first. So
okay.
right? That's why I do the intro. Like, I'm going back through all the podcasts as I'm editing them and putting them out on things. Go check out our podcast. And it's shocking to me how long it took before I was like, we need an intro where I actually discuss what it is we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first couple episodes are literally just like, hey, everybody, welcome to the show. And then Will starts doing his shtick, and we move that from like 2 minutes into the very beginning.
Yikes.
And then it's still like I'm episode 34 or something, and I still haven't started doing the welcome to our rating, the show where we do blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh, that's weird that it took us so long.
Oh, we just keep working out the kinks. We keep getting better, Dan. We keep getting better.
Absolutely, we do.
That's what it is.
Absolutely we do.
Can't say the same thing about the movies we're watching.
I think the movies this month specifically have gotten progressively better every week. All right,
Oh shit.
crack open the curtain and cut to Will now that he's drinking.
Yep. Sing Street 2016. A young lad wants to get hot and heavy with a gal across the street. So he figures the easiest way to get her attention must be by starting a band and write music just for her. That accent was all over the place.
I was gonna say, did you get more Irish as that went on?
Oh boy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Our Rating, the show where I get to go to my friends. We discuss a movie franchise, break it down by film, give it an overall score, and throw it back up on the board. However, for March Movie Madness, we are picking any movie we want. So Brian's going to pick one, Will's going to pick one, I'm going to pick one. We're going to discuss that movie. That way we can kind of flex our muscles, talk about something other than a franchise for once. This week, it's my choice, and I'm choosing the movie Sing Street. I was a little bit harsh. Well, I was very harsh on Will's movie, and I was a little bit harsh on Brian's movie, so they're going to be getting a bit of revenge this week, unfortunately. We'll see how that goes. Will and Brian, how are you guys doing this week?
Doing good. Doing great. Brian?
I'm good. Dan, at the end of these, of course, we bring up the billboard of ratings. We put this along with our Patreon picks because they're individual movies, but we also have a rating for our franchise films, and they get a score from me, Dan, and Will. Dan, are you a little bit nervous because neither Will nor I saw this movie coming into it? You had no idea what we're going to react to it. What do you think our reactions are going to be to this film?
To be perfectly honest, we watched this with not really with the Patreon, but on our Discord. It was a free watch. Anybody could come join us. We had a pretty good turnout. We had like the most I think we've ever had at one of the shows. The first 5 minutes, I was sweating buckets. And then I remembered why I loved this movie so much, and I was like, no, I'm confident in this pick. I really like it. I think it's going to get a good reaction from the guys. Most of the people who were there stuck around for the entire film, which is great to see. Lots of conversation throughout. So I had a great time watching it. I believe you guys are going to have a good time watching it. Maybe not as good of a time as me, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of jokes at my expense about how bad this is and child actors and whatnot. I think Will's going to come in higher than Brian, but I don't imagine either of you are going to come in as high as I am.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, let's find out, shall we? All right, Dan.
All right,
I
go
want to
ahead.
start by asking you a question.
Absolutely.
How did you find this movie? Why do you like this movie? What drew you to this movie? What made you want us to suffer through this movie?
Yeah, there's joke one. So this movie is significantly more recent than either of yours are. This came out in 2016 compared to, I think you had 1996, so like 20 years later. So I don't have like an emotional, like I saw this as a kid with my brother or my dad or whatnot. I discovered this one because I used to, well, I still do, but I was listening to a lot of podcasts about movies and such. And this is one that every podcast I was listening to just kept bringing up. Wasn't getting Oscar buzz or anything like that I remember. It was just every podcaster was like, have you seen this? It's incredible. It's so much fun. You have to check it out. I believe it was on a streaming service at that time, so I was able to watch it with my wife, and we both just absolutely fell in love with it. The soundtrack to this is something we'll probably discuss, or we must be discussing later. Very infectious. There's songs on this soundtrack that are still on my actual playlist that I listen to fairly regularly, but there's no like nostalgic grab to it. Like, again, I didn't watch this growing up or anything like that.
Right.
It's just one that I watched with my wife. We both really enjoyed it. It's since left streaming, so I had to go and find a copy of it because there's no like YouTube or anywhere to rent this one, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I have the full copy of it, my wife and I have seen it a couple of times since. We watched it with the watch party. And watching with the watch party, I went upstairs afterwards glowing, and I was like, we need to show the twins. Like, they're old enough now. There's nothing in this that's like all that bad.
Too
Like, even the
risky.
language isn't awful. There's nothing, no risky scenes or anything. I think they'd really enjoy it. So there's a good chance I'm going to be watching this one again very soon. I just think it's a heartwarming love story. I think the music is infectious, and it manages to tell the story it wants to tell, the coming of age story, without any of the like Americanized tropes of like the secondhand embarrassment or those really cringy scenes where you're just like, oh, I can barely even look at the screen during these scenes where like the little boy's trying to talk to the girl or whatnot. Like,
Right.
it just comes across
Fresh.
more natural and more heartfelt than that, and I really appreciate that.
Now, it's a well-known fact that I don't have a love for musicals. I think there's two or three that I really like, and then I pretty much hate all the rest of them. This is a quasi-musical film. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't classify it as a musical, but it has a lot of musical numbers in it, in a variety of, like, they start out barely able to play the instruments, it sounds like, and then by the end they're full-on rock stars. So a variety there. Where do you guys land on musicals? Do you like musicals in general? Is this the type of thing you go for normally? Let's start with you, Dan.
I would have told you that I don't really like musicals all that much, and then kind of going like, this was the pick I chose. It's not a musical in the classical sense. Like, the music doesn't really progress the plot so much as it's just infused with music throughout. We watched Sound of Music recently. I really enjoyed that. Hamilton, I will put on constantly. It's a safe thing to watch, to listen to in front of the kids in the car, and the music in that is absolutely fantastic. I think I'm on board with what you said, where like there's a couple that I really, really like, and there's a whole lot that I could just completely pass on.
Yeah, for myself, I kind of want to classify this as like the modern musical, where the music is still a huge part of it because they're in a band. It's about the music, and so there are these fantasy musical numbers within the movie, but it's not like let's break out into song and dance to tell this or push the story forward, like Dan mentioned, right? And from what I've researched about John Carney, he also did Once and Begin Again, and they were very similar. Once is about somebody who creates music, and so it's this kind of modern take on musicals, and he's good at what he does. Both Once and Begin Again were Oscar noms for Best Original Music, I believe, and Once won for that. And so, yeah, it's funny though, because I'm not a huge musical fan either. There are some classics that I do enjoy, but you know, I think we're past the time of like the music. I don't know. There's just like this cheesy almost element to the classic musicals that I just don't think people go for, younger audiences go for. Where that being said, I've seen newer musicals. Like there's one that's called Six, which is like pop rock opera of like the 6 wives of Henry the Sixth or whatever, Henry the VIII, whoever it is. And it's like a freaking concert, right? They are just like every number is like a ballpark hit, and you're just there for like a live concert experience. And so like musicals are evolving, and I think this is like how musicals are evolving on screen, and it's kind of refreshing to see.
That's very fair.
I will say there was a lot of things in this movie that were fresh and new, and I did enjoy because it is a coming of age story, and those are, for me, a drag. I thought I'd seen it all and there wasn't really anything new to the genre, but this one did bring something new. Having him walk up to the girl and come up with the idea of a band and get her number right off the bat, like, and it wasn't, like you said, Dan, it wasn't like, oh, I was expecting something embarrassing to happen and it didn't. It was pretty smooth and kind of fun. And that was refreshing. I like the take that this movie has on the coming of age idea.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in this movie that are very tried and true, but somehow this movie does it in a way that doesn't feel samey to everything that came before it. You recognize like, oh, there's the bully in the new school. Oh, the teacher's a jerk. Oh, his parents, whatever. Oh, the brother who's, you know, the cooler one. But, you know, like all these things you've seen 1,000 times, but it just, you're so endeared to the characters. The older brother especially.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah.
Favorite of mine every time I watch this, and I'm just like, this character, this actor just needs to be in more things. Jack Rayner's his name. He's in a couple of things that I've seen, Midsommar, one of the Transformers movies, but not a standout character in those ones. But in this movie, I just absolutely adore him.
Yeah, he was great. It's also funny, Dan, you mentioned that this isn't like a nostalgic movie, but it has the nostalgic vibe, right? Like, we're set in the 80s. We've got all these 80s hits playing in the background in various renditions. It's the coming of age story. Like, it is a nostalgia movie, but it was made in 2016. So it's funny that you said you don't have nostalgia for it, but it has that feeling, its essence, which is
you're absolutely
kind of fun.
You're absolutely right. I guess what I meant was like, A Few Good Men is a movie I remember watching with my dad growing up, or like The Princess Bride is one that we as a family watched growing up. So like I have a nostalgic love for those where I don't feel like this one does. Also, this one takes place in 1985. I was 3. Like I don't have the love for the 80s bands that this movie or the director of this movie clearly does. I think the music in this is great, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't remind me of my childhood.
Yeah. That's funny because I listen to this music all the time still. But I mean, I grew up with that kind of music and still love it. And I watched all those 80s movies and still love them, right? Like it does remind me, even though it's not the American version of like, say, Footloose or, you know, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, like they're all very similar, but this one's take with the music and the band kept it fresh, you know. But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of fun elements to it.
How do you guys feel about the British influence of this, the cultural aspect of it being it's filmed, you know, the Catholic school where the priest, the father, is hitting him, like almost drowning him. The bullies are horrendously bad. You know, most of this stuff would be illegal and get people expelled or go to prison here in America and today. But back then and overseas, that was just a function of how it worked.
In fairness, in 1985, on this side of the ocean, you could probably get away with a lot more of that stuff.
True, yeah.
You can now too, but yeah, I will point out, and I'm not correcting you so much as I'm correcting myself, I've been calling this a British indie film for weeks. For the record, it is Ireland.
Irish.
I know some people are going to be very upset at me if I don't correct that at some point. So I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Yes,
yep, you're right.
I was wrong. I apologize.
That's why I had the bad Irish accent at the beginning, you know.
That's what that was. Okay.
Moving right along.
Yeah. There was a scene again. So I tried to be on camera for the watch party because I figured this is my movie. You should get a reaction from me. Brian's on camera every time we do one of those, and it was just making the film a little bit choppy. It just wasn't coming through properly, so I did have to turn myself off. I was smiling for most of this, but as I mentioned, the first couple of minutes, I was a little nervous, and especially the first time you meet the bully, and he takes him into the bathroom with the slingshot, and like he's just like, "All right, now take your pants off and dance for me." I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get roasted for this." Like
That was kind of a harsh scene.
Yeah, and then they move on from that relatively quickly, and it's great after that. But like for a minute, I'm just like, somebody's gonna have a comment, somebody's gonna say something.
That actually was kind of one of my issues with the movie, is like they bring up a lot of like the bad things this kid's going through, like his parents getting a divorce, always arguing, things like that. I mean, getting separated, they can't be divorced at that time. You know, the Catholic school just breathing down this kid's neck, the bullies, everything is on this kid, and he just kind of walks through it very gracefully. It seems like everything came about too easily in this movie. And I know it's like a feel-good movie and you're rooting for him, but it's like you don't even have to root for him. The guy's got it under control. Like very little do you ever feel like, oh, he's not going to make it, in my mind.
You're not wrong. I misremembered the ending, to be perfectly honest.
The ending's wild.
So when they're on the boat and it's like, spoilers, I guess. When they're on the boat and like there's a storm, I completely forgot about the ferry. I thought it kind of ends with this ambiguous, not only do they make it as rock stars, but like, do they even make it to England?
Yeah.
And then the ferry shows up and kind of like does the older brother thing and just like paves
Clears a path, yeah.
Clears a path for them. Which was like was very on the nose, but also very fitting for the themes of the movie, so it kind of worked. But you're not wrong. Like there's a lot of scenes in this where everything just kind of works so easily.
It just resolves itself very well.
Yeah, like the bully's picking on him until he's not. The priest is picking on him until he's not. His parents get divorced, but he really doesn't seem to care that much. Like his brother seems more upset about them getting divorced or separated than he does.
I would have thought that both the kids would have been relieved, because then they wouldn't have to listen to their parents bitch so much. You see that sometimes in movies when the parents finally decide to separate and the kids are like, finally, you know, we can move on from this. Like, why haven't you guys done this sooner? There was a bit of a limbo in there when he's like, this is bullshit. And I was like, I don't sense you being mad about this. You were so easygoing about them arguing and just ignoring it and just waiting for it to be over. I thought you expected this to happen. And it didn't really happen that way. It felt a little discombobulated at that point. So there's that. There's the issue with him just overcoming everything bad just kind of happens real easily. You know, he kind of Harry Potter's his way through this. And those were points of contention for me in the film. Sure.
I will say the what you're talking about with the divorce and like the kids should be like, oh, I'm just happy it's over. My parents are still together, but my friend back in late public school, his parents went through a divorce, and I remember feeling awful for him. And he was the kid who was just like, I'm just happy it's over. Like they just fight all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just happy it's done. And that blew my mind as like a 12 or 13-year-old. I was just like, what? Like your parents are getting divorced. Like this is a big deal. It would have been to me. And he's just like, whatever, it's fine. But I did like that the older brother put on that show in front of the whole family and then had his little meltdown only in front of his younger brother, who's clearly the closest within the group. Like he was just kind of, he was still playing the calm, cool, collected, too cool for school kid until he was safe. And then it was this is bullshit. And, you know, I had to do everything for you and you get everything so easily. Which again, is kind of just so easy in the movie. Whether that hits for you or not is kind of one of the points.
That was actually a fresh take as well. I liked that. It was honest, and that was an experience that these two characters, the lead character, I forget his name, and the older brother were Connor. They were the best characters in my opinion in the movie, and that scene when they go back and forth, that felt so real to me. I enjoyed that. That felt honest. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm going to gush about the brother a lot. I think a lot of the scenes with the brother felt
phenomenal.
Very like realistic. My brother was not that necessarily growing up, but he was awfully close. And so like I recognized this relationship very quickly. And I really did like that. Another character of mine that I just really enjoyed while we're talking about that is I don't remember his name, but the kid who they meet who can play all the instruments.
Oh yeah.
And is just always down. Like he shows up and says like, "Hey, want to help me write a song?" Always, and they just go and do what they want to do. It's one of those things, and I'm going to touch back. One of the things I love about this movie kind of goes back to one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever received, and it's not something that I received so much as it was from a podcast. And ironically, Kevin Smith, who's a person I bring up a lot on this. He's a director and a podcaster and whatnot. And one of the things he said years ago that really resonated with me is in life, you're going to find, I'm going to butcher this a little bit, but you'll get the point. In life, you're going to find two kinds of people, the whys and the why nots. The whys are going to try and stop you from ever doing anything. You're going to be like, hey, I want to, try out for the football team. I want to make a podcast. I want to go make a movie. And they'll just be like, why? Why would you bother? Why do you think you have a voice that anybody wants to listen to? And then you're going to find the why not people. Where you're like, I want to make a podcast. They're like, yeah, why not? That sounds fun. This movie is all about him finding why not people and then bringing out the absolute best in him. And I think that's absolutely amazing. And it's one of those things where, if I can be sappy for a second, I love about Brian and Will, where I came to these guys 2 years ago, almost at this point, and was like, I'd love to make a movie-based podcast. This is the idea I've got. This is the goofy little name I've got. And neither one of them bumped up against it. They were both just like, yeah, why not? I love talking about movies. That sounds like a lot of fun. So thank you to both of you guys, but also that really resonated with me that he found this kid who's just like, I just want to make music. I just want to hang out. Why would we not try our absolute best? I thought that was a beautiful relationship between the two of them. Some might say it's unrealistic how quickly they got the band together and how quickly everything formed, but it's an hour and a half long movie. Like, you don't want it to take forever for them to find a drummer or something. I think
it's not the point of the movie.
Exactly. I think it was paced very nicely for what it was.
Yeah. Now I just have to say, how am I supposed to tear this movie down now that you spoke so highly of us? Like, what an a-hole move.
Yeah. And we got to change the name of the show to Movie Street now.
I do think that I think the character's name was Eamon or something, the buddy. And I thought at the end of the movie, I'm like, why is he bringing this girl? He should be bringing this guy who knows how to make music and play every instrument. He was the driving force of their success in my mind. Not that
she was a muse, though. She was a muse. I think he needed both. You could probably do away with the rest of the band if you had to. She was the muse, but let me ask you something. Him and the girl were going to England to promote their band, though, right? Like, they were going to come back. He brought the tape, and he was hoping to get the whole band involved. He wasn't just going to run off on his own, right?
No, they discussed him going ahead, finding a music deal, getting in touch with some people, and then coming back and rescuing them from.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Dublin, I think it is.
That's okay. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of made it look like
behind.
like the way they let, like, the brother hugs him goodbye. The brother hugs him goodbye like, I'm not gonna see you again for a very long time. You're off to start your life.
Sophie Storm?
That's true. And honestly, watching that, I wasn't sure if he wasn't going to turn the boat around. I wasn't sure if he wasn't, if he was going to stop. Like, it got dark and choppy fast, and I was like, oh, this is when reality hits him and he realizes there are some things you can't do on passion alone. But then a boat comes and saves the day, and he gets to follow a boat safely to England. Which was kind of the pace for the story, so.
Yeah.
It fit the theme, whether you agree with it or not.
It fit the theme.
Falls in line.
One of the things I was reading up online after the fact is you see Brendan, the older brother, give him some lyrics. Because, like, he was a musician first. He just never chased his dream. He kind of burnt out on weed and dropped out of school and whatnot. He gives him some lyrics to Connor, the main character. Like, hey, put some music to these, whatnot. And then they get on their boat and they start going across. And, like you mentioned in the chat party, like, wow, this music is really on the nose. The song you're hearing at the end there is, in theory, Connor singing the lyrics that Brendan gave him down the road. Like he did take those song lyrics, he did make something out of them, and that became the song that you're listening to at the end. That's not clear in the movie whatsoever. That's just the director spitballing.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. That adds a little element to it, and that makes sense why it's so on the nose for what you're looking at. Is he's
Because it's what
talking
he
about you and the
wanted.
model and sailing away. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I did like the brother as well. He was like the wise one you go to advice for, but like every other movie, those characters are like perfection, and in this, the brother is far from it, and you see all of his issues, and you see, his laziness and why he isn't successful. You see his anger towards even his brother, even though he's proud. You can tell he's proud of his brother, and he wants the best for his brother because it's what he always wanted. But just having that flawed character really made him more real, and made me appreciate his character in general a lot more than most.
I love flawed characters, realistic characters, because in reality, nobody is perfect. There is no one in your life who is perfect. You might say that to your wife's face, but we all know. And so it was nice seeing Connor and his brother and their interactions. I think they kind of stole the show. Those characters were really well developed and did very real things for the most part. There were some wardrobe changes, which were weird but hilarious, and I loved it. Like every week he had a whole new style because he had a whole new influence, and that influence was shown in the music, and it was really well showcased in it. Clearly he was stealing clothes out of his parents' wardrobe and everything, but still a very real character, and we all went through hairstyle wardrobe changes in high school, maybe not every week, but we all did that, and so I remember that. These were great characters. I really liked them. I didn't think that a lot of the other characters carried as well in this movie. His good friend that plays all the instruments, the one with the mullet, I forget his name, I forget all their names. He seemed very like two-dimensional, very flat, and I'm not sure if it was supposed to be like that's just his character or if this was kind of bad acting. I'm not sure. Some of the other members of the band had more personality than him, but a lot less lines, and they didn't get to be showcased as much. The black kid on the keyboard, holy cow, BD energy right there. I love that kid. He should have had a bigger role. I love how he kept like creeping up in front of the camera to kind of try and steal the show all the time. Great character, didn't have enough airtime for me. And then like the bully, his character was a little bit all over the place for me. I liked his character, but like he just came in too hot, and that whole sequence at the beginning threw me. So I did have some trouble with some of the acting, some of the characters. I thought the dialogue was really good throughout the movie, but the acting was troublesome.
There's a couple of scenes that I just want to touch on really quickly based off some of the characters you're mentioning. For one, you need to have a whole band of kids. You need to have a school full of kids. There's going to be a lot of kids that get 2 or 3 lines. I'm not too terribly opposed to this. This is very much Connor's story. It is Rafinia's story. It is to some extent Brendan's story. The older brother. It's not the bassist's story. He's there. He gets a line or two. He gets residuals. Good for him. I liked, as far as the bully goes, you're right. Like he is a lot to take, especially the first time you see him. But I love the scene where him and his dad are walking up to them, and like the dad's like, "Why don't you do anything with your life?" And you're like, you can see the generational abuse or the generational trauma in action, and like, he's just like, you're dead. Like he went from being like, what you're doing is silly to like, I'm gonna kill you because you made me look that much worse in front of my dad who already hates me.
It was a great scene. It was like 10 seconds long, and you got an hour's worth of information from it. It was a really good, well-placed scene with good dialogue there. I liked it.
Exactly. Another like nothing little scene, but again, just added a ton to it. And honestly, you could have taken out some of the divorce aspect of this. Like the divorce came up a lot, but the one scene where you just have Aidan Gillen, the dad, just sitting on the couch and just lonely eating this stale sandwich was such a small little scene and just spoke so many volumes. Like, yeah, you're poor, you're going through this divorce, like life did not go where you thought it was going to go. And like, you think you'll be happier without that person, but this is what your life is actually going to look like. It was so instantly depressing in this otherwise upbeat movie. And it's instantly told you everything you need to know about that character and his future. And I loved it. I don't know. It's so awful for that character, but for the storytelling in the movie, I really enjoyed it. And the older brother, again, at one point, he's like, when he's getting mad at his kid, like, have you noticed I've been off? Like, I'm withdrawing because I haven't had weed in 2 days. And like, you used to be nothing. And I used to be alone with him. And I used to be a fucking jet engine. And now you're just like carving in the path or you're just following the path that I carved. And then like the next scene, you see him on the couch smoking weed again. Like he tried for 2 days and that was the most he could muster. And he's right back to his old ways. There's just little scenes like that are quiet, but that are so important to the movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think this movie is a three-hander, right? It's Connor, the missus, and the brother. Those are the three like fully fleshed out characters. The rest of the film to me is like a truncated version of all the events that need to happen to see those characters' stories through. And I'm okay with it. Obviously, it made for some fun laughs but somewhat two-dimensional characters. But I think it's the only way to do it successfully to get those intimate moments with those three characters.
Yeah.
And I thought I liked the pacing of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not asking for more dialogue from some of those side characters. I just feel that stronger actors could have squeezed a little bit more out of those short scenes. But for what it was, I mean, I was laughing the whole way through this movie. It's a heartfelt movie. It tugged on the heartstrings. It showcased what it needed to, and it hit you where you wanted to be hit, even though you didn't even know you wanted to go there. So it was definitely a good ride for me from start to finish. And I tried to give Dan a really hard time about this movie, but in general, I actually really did enjoy this from start to finish.
Okay. I'll take that as a win. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about the fact that it's a musical. What do you think about the actual music? Whether it is the musical drops of like The Clash, Aha, Duran Duran, like the bands, or whether it's the Sing Street original songs.
Do you mind if I jump in on this one, Will?
No, go ahead.
So the Sing Street original songs were better than I thought they were going to be. Not as good as the music that they showcased throughout the film, the real music that came from outside this film. Those I just loved. They had, it's got a great soundtrack to it. The Sing Street original songs were pretty good though. The one thing that kind of the gears didn't quite line up right was that music kind of saves him, sort of. But I didn't really see how. It was just one day he shows up at school and he tells off the bully because he's now got the confidence. But I'm not even sure how he got the confidence just from making music with his friends. Maybe it progressed so fast we weren't allowed to see something more develop. But I just felt like they were trying to say he's leaning into his music and that's what's carrying him through these hard times. But I didn't really see how. It did, and it was wonderful, and it was a fun ride, but like things maybe happened that I didn't see, I guess. I'm not sure. So if that makes sense.
It does. There are a couple of times we see Connor stand up for himself, which I really liked, including like the first 2 minutes. Like the first time the bully puts him in the bathroom with the slingshot, I think he asked him to do something and he kind of like dances a little bit. He's like, oh, take your pants off. He's like, no. I'm not doing that. And then that scene kind of just ends and he walks away. Then yes, there's a bully. He stands up to the bully later on when he is kind of like, well, I'm in a band now, so you can't hurt me. And it's like,
right.
Well, I think he still could.
And he's like, you're inspiration for my music. And I was like, I don't remember you writing any songs about bullies at all. So I don't know how that was inspiration. Like,
yeah.
You know?
But then later on, this girl that he's been chasing and that he's idolized. Like,
who was definitely inspiration for his music.
For sure. The whole riddle of the model song, like what he says about that song at the beginning is like, well, when you first meet somebody, they're a mystery. They can be anything. And then when the more you get to know them, you put them in a box and they become this one specific thing. And later on, when you find that she didn't run away with her boyfriend and she's talking down about what her life is going to be like, oh, I guess I'm just going to work at McDonald's and like hang out with some 15-year-old. And he's just like, fuck that. And he just like gets up and walks away from her. And she's like, well, tell me this. He's like, no, I don't think I will. Like, he's just, I love that he's had enough wherewithal to stand up for himself. In
Yeah.
that moment. He's been chasing her for so long.
Good for him
There's
too.
a lot of
Yeah.
movies where he's just like, you just keep simping, and he's just like, no, I know what I am. I know what I'm worth.
Yeah.
If you're gonna wallow in sadness and spit down on me, you're just like everybody else. And he walked away from it. I just love that so much that he stood up for himself, not just against the bullies, but also against his friends.
There was a scene where his brother introduces him to a band. I forget the band, but he says, "This is happy sad. This is how you be sad and happy at the same time." And he goes to school the next day and he's like, "This is just how life is. We're going to deal with it. We're going to move on." And that was the one time in the movie where I really felt the music influenced him in a way that helped him to progress through a situation. But otherwise, the rest was just him kind of idolizing that girl and inspiring him to write music. And then him randomly dealing with the bully. In a variety of different ways. One, he says no in the beginning. Two, he has this full-on demonstration in front of everybody at the middle of the film. And then three, he invites him to come be a roadie and help them out, which was hilarious in its own right. All great scenes and everything, but all kind of weird and didn't really have anything to do with the music. He said it did, but I didn't see it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I can't argue that.
I mean, they only had time for 5 songs, right? So he had to pick and choose which one
Yeah.
to put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
To answer your question from earlier, I like the inspiration and seeing how that affected each new song that they released. I thought that was super fun to see those elements of the different bands' influences on the music that they're putting out. They dramatically got better as the movie went on, which is fine. They again truncated that, but it was. I think John Carney is very talented. He knows music. He grew up in a school band just like this kid. So I think there's a little bit of writing from his own life here, which makes sense. And I think he's a very talented writer and director when it comes to these modern musicals that I'm tagging this as. No doubt about it. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how to get a nice story out of these pictures and move you with the music.
It's all right.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. There's so many just like little things. Like I could just gush about this movie. There's so many like little scenes where I'm just like, oh, I love that scene. I love this scene. Where his brother is telling about Jordan, like, oh, the jury's still out on which direction they're going to go about this, but this guy's a great guitar. And then you hear him quote the exact verbatim later on to like it. Like, hands up if you've done that exact thing before, where you're just like, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but like.
Every week on this show, man. Every
There you
week.
go.
Fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah, that just comes across as so real to me. I don't know.
I like the scene where he kissed the girl and then he's like, well, what about Evan? And she's like, and you ruined it. And she got up and walked away. And I was like, yeah, that's a good one. I like that. That was funny.
Well, that and another scene that again could have been super cringy, because he goes to kiss her and then asks about Evan and they don't kiss, but then later on they do kiss when they're on the island or whatever, and then he like kisses her like 3 times and he sits back and they have like a little cracker and they're just like thinking about it. He's just like, no, I want to keep kissing you, and he like moves up. She's like, I just put something in my mouth.
Yeah.
And like he's just like, oh, sorry. And he just like patiently waits for her to chew, and then they continue making out. I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like there's so many different ways to do that exact scene where you just like, oh, and you're like looking away from the screen just out of embarrassment. And in this one, I'm just smiling the whole time.
Yeah. I can't stand those movies where they have cringe, embarrassing things happen. They make me feel uncomfortable while I'm watching, which is what they're supposed to do. But I don't like that feeling. I don't like feeling sad or uncomfortable. Like there's a new show with the guy from The Office called Rooster, and I'm watching that, Steve Carell. And Steve Carell is a master of that uncomfortable comedy that makes you kind of cringe and go, oh man, I don't want to go through that. Steve Carell's probably the only person that I watch that type of comedy with and enjoy, because it doesn't, he for some reason nails it for me, but everybody else, it just makes me uncomfortable. It stresses me out and I don't want to watch that. So that's why normally coming of age movies, not my bag, but this one just from start to finish, with a very few exceptions, just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You'll have to
Maybe
tell
you-
us what your twins think of this movie,
I will absolutely do that.
because I kind of want to. They're closer to the age of the kids in the movie, so I want to see how they kind of relate to it, or if they can.
Well,
Hone
they're
in on that.
closer to that age, but they'll also have no reference point for the songs in this, or at least none that I'm aware of.
Sure, but that the coming of age story is kind of a universal thing. I just want to see how it plays with that younger audience.
Sure. Yeah, I can absolutely let you know about that. Do you guys have anything else before we move on to rating this thing?
The makeup was a little weird for me. She's like, well, you guys need stage makeup. And I'm like I performed on stage and I'm used to doing stage. In fact, I did the makeup for the girls at my school because I lived in such a hick town growing up that they didn't know how to apply makeup. And so I learned how to apply stage makeup, which is excessive. It's not something you would put on to go out to the mall or something. But anyway, I understand stage makeup. And so I saw them wearing stage makeup plus, and I was like, that's kind of weird. They sort of look like vampires. And then he's wearing it to school on top of that, which was another choice. The makeup was intense, and I think that it was a little bit more for the time period they wanted to demonstrate, 85, I believe.
Yeah.
And so it was okay, but it was awkward to see. I was expecting her to do those kids up with makeup that would make them look good on camera, but instead it gave them a style on camera rather, because it was so intense, like the white with dark eyeliner, red highlights in the corners and stuff, and lipstick and whatnot. And so it was kind of intense.
Yeah,
So-
it was the pop groups of the time, man. Like,
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
androgynous look things. Yeah, for sure.
Well, and also, especially if you're talking about like the alleyway scene, the first time they put on the makeup.
Yeah.
Who knows if she knows what she's doing either, right?
Yeah, she might just be
like-
BSing it.
Yeah, like you said, you learned how to do that. I don't know what your first show looked like, right? Who knows?
Couple of
I'm not
clowns.
digging at you, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Maybe you were a fucking natural.
Or they all look like mimes. I don't know. I can't remember.
This is the first time. This is like probably the fourth or fifth time I've seen this movie. This is the first time I noticed when they're shooting the pier one, that the little black kid is wearing whiteface, and you're just like, nobody else even has.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like powder now.
Okay.
Anything to stand out, man. Anything to stand out with that guy.
Oh yeah, he wanted center stage. It was pretty funny every time.
Super funny.
The last thing I'll have to say then, I guess, is I really like how, and this is the first time that I really picked up on this, when they're going into near the end, they're doing the dance video for Drive It Like You Stole It. And he wants her to show up and she doesn't, unfortunately. But he's kind of walking through like what he wants that video to look like. Like she's gonna come in from the exit, walk down the center, everybody's gonna clear a path, everybody's dancing, they're gonna clear a path, she's gonna make eye contact, we're gonna run off into the night, and that'll be the thing. And then when he's talking to his brother, he's like, well, I'd really love mom and dad to, like, we're playing at the dance, I'd really love mom and dad to show up, I'd really love you to be there. And his brother's like, yeah, I'll see if I can make it. And when they're shooting that, like they're shooting the video, but it's like the dream sequence, essentially.
Yeah.
The parents show up, the brother shows up, the school marm or whatever, the priest kind of like gets into it. Like all these ridiculous things happen, but when it actually comes time for the show, Rafinha is the only one who shows up for him.
Yes.
Like his parents aren't there, his brother doesn't show up, but she comes in, does the exact same thing, walks through the crowd, everybody's singing. Sure, maybe it's on the nose, but I thought it was really beautiful that like he's done all this for her, and finally she's coming through for him.
Yeah. Well, after she insults him in the park, she better do something nice.
I just like the knife fight. That was the good part. The brother at the knife fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so. And then they're just like shake hands, and then they're just enjoying the music.
Yeah, just go with it. Yeah.
1950s Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Do it. Let's rate the thing.
All right. If you like what we do and you want to help support us, consider joining our Patreon. There's a link down below. Thank you to our producers, as well as our executive producer, Dino, and a huge shout out to our writers, Elder JM990, Miss Hillary, and Real Bubba Hotep. Thank you all very much. Next week is our Patreon pick, and I believe we are doing American Beauty, if I remember correctly. So come on, hang out with us for the watch party, and check out that episode next Thursday night.
Woohoo.
Yes, it is American Beauty next week.
Oh, and just while we're here, this can get cut out, but for the record, we are doing the podcast every single week. It is coming out 3 times a week at the moment while we're trying to get caught up on episodes. So ! Podcast in the chat. We'll bring that up. You can go follow us on up to 13, I think it is, different podcasting sites, whichever one you listen to, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, some random one. You can find us there. We've got 34 episodes and counting. Once we get caught up, it'll just be 1 a week, but until then, it's 3 times a week. So feel free to check that out. And ! Movies will bring up the website or bring up YouTube if you want to check out the edited version of these episodes. We are up to date, and I'm bringing these out every Monday. So we are live Thursday, podcast Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the YouTube episode on Monday. So lots going on. Make sure you check it all out.
And if you're interested in getting to those watch parties, ! Discord will get you both Discords, the Coalition and the R Rating Discord, where you can go to the R Rating Discord and join us for the watch parties. When we do have movies that are nigh impossible to watch anywhere, we'll try and make those free for anybody. Otherwise, one of the lower tiers in the Patreon will get you access to our weekly watch parties. And we are trying to put movies into that watch party as often as we can. So far, it's just been, every Sunday, I think we've been having it. Every Sunday at 7 is what we've been doing.
I will clarify, it is a monthly watch party. We've been doing it weekly, but we're only technically signed up for the one for the Patreon pick.
Yeah.
Now, Brian has been a saint, and he's been doing it almost weekly. So I appreciate you for doing that, Brian. But that is not technically part of the Patreon. That is just out of the goodness of Brian's heart.
Yeah, because this Sunday I was planning on watching American Beauty in the watch party.
Yeah, and I plan on being there with you.
Okay.
I might as well show up, I guess.
When we were watching Sing Street, I completely forgot that it was the Oscars. I haven't really paid attention to the Oscars recently because we don't have cable, so we have no way of watching it. And apparently this year it's on Crave or HBO Max in the States. Yeah. So I'm happy we watched Sing Street, really enjoyed that, but a part of me is like, damn it. The first time in years I could have actually watched the Oscars and I didn't get a chance to. All right, Brian, go ahead.
What am I doing? Sorry? Oh, we're rating. Oh, my bad.
Episode 74.
Okay, so this movie had its flaws for me. I think acting was something that I struggled with. I wasn't sure if it was the direction or the dialogue of the characters or if it was their acting. I always have trouble depicting that. But I do think that some of the smaller roles just didn't squeeze out as much as I could have, and some of the characters were either a little too on the nose or a little too intense or not intense enough. It was kind of all over the place. The people who mattered did amazing, though, and so it wasn't a big issue for me. As far as everything else, the only thing I really had a problem with was probably the cinematography. I just didn't enjoy the cinematography. It was bland. It kind of had some harsh lighting. They were also trying to, show them and their recordings, which their recordings were naturally shaky camera recordings on old school VHS cassettes. And so that was, in there supposed to be. But when they were doing the real shots, they had some weird camera angles that made some people look shorter or taller when they shouldn't have. They had some wide angles or people just not boxed in the shot the way I would want to do. And so the cinematography was just driving me nuts. But that's a technical thing that probably only bothered me. The film in general was a really good film that had me laughing. It was tugging on my heartstrings, not too hard. It didn't make me cringe, except for maybe the scene in the bathroom with the bully, but it didn't really go anywhere and had a kind of an ending that I was like, oh, okay, that didn't go where I was expecting it to go. And so I was able to sit through this movie and really enjoy it. I'm giving it a 71, which is a lot higher than I thought I was going to give this film. And I will actually admit something. When we started watching this movie, I was like, oh, I remember the trailer for this. This was a movie that I wanted to see.
Woo! Oh my.
Yep.
That's fun. Okay. Nice. Okay.
Now you have.
Now I have. And it's all because of you two and the R Rating show.
Boom.
R Rating, bringing people and movies together. All right, I've gushed about this movie for the last hour. I don't have a whole lot of negatives on this one. Now, I struggled for the tiniest bit. Not that I think this movie actually deserves 100, but just like, where do I actually find fault with this film? The sound design, there's a couple of times where they will start playing an instrument and then it very clearly switches over to a pre-recorded of the actual music. It's noticeable in like a scene or two, but overall I don't really mind it because obviously they're probably not playing their own instruments. It's just easier for the sound technicians. It is still an indie film, although it does have a significantly higher budget than last week's film. But the sound design, the music in this overall was just absolutely fantastic. I love the songs in this, both the needle drops as well as the original. The acting, I don't have too much of an issue with. And like they said, the characters that matter nail their performances. I believe the brother. I believe him. I really like Rafina. And even the best friend who, like we said, didn't have a whole lot to do, but every time he had something to do, he was just in there for his friend. He just like, yeah, absolutely. What are we doing now? Let's do it. I really liked that. The cinematography, it's a little bland. You're not wrong. It's like the one scene that I would fight back on that would be the dream sequence where they're recording the 50s dance in the gymnasium. I thought that was actually quite a fun sequence. But for the most part, it is like just sitting around and talking. So I get that. The plot on this one, it is a lot of things you've seen before in a coming of age story, but it does it in such a way that makes it feel fresh and fun. I have a smile on my face the entire time I'm watching this. This enjoyment level on this one could not be higher for me. This is a 94 for me. I adore this film, and I'm going to watch it again very soon.
Very nice. Yeah, again, I think we said a lot of what we've said, and I don't have a lot to add. I do want to push back a bit on what Dan said about like the music choice of them playing their instruments and then going into like that pre-record. I kind of felt that was in the vibe of the truncated storytelling of them. Hey, we're trying to pick up these instruments and now we know the song, and that was their way of like just blending those two scenes together. Specifically, there was one in the living room where they were like strumming out the music and starting to sing with the best friend. And then the keyboardist comes in, and then the bass player comes in, and the whole room is filled. And that was like the transition of them being like, yeah, now we're actually banging this song out. So that didn't bother me as much. Overall, I mean, it's a feel-good movie. It's hard to hate on it unless you hate 80s music for some reason, or you hate coming-of-age movies for some reason. I just think it's a fairly safe movie. There's not a lot of like groundbreaking or pushing the barrier or anything like that. Not that any, or all movies have to be that. It was enjoyable. Yeah, it's the modern musical. So if you're into that, give it a check out if you can find it. Just knock on Dan's door; he'll lend it to you. I give this a 78 out of 100. Not too shabby.
I'll take that.
Good choice.
Yeah, I liked
so the record. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep.
I liked the music transitions, the way they did it. I didn't feel it was. I thought that everything was intentional there, so it didn't.
So maybe I wasn't clear in what I was saying. Not like where you're talking about where they're learning their instruments, but like when it's one of the times when they're on stage at the end of the movie. I can't remember if it's the dream sequence or if it's when they're actually performing live in front of a crowd. But like you can hear like he strums the guitar, and it's like the live actor doing it, and then like you can almost hear a click of an audible like turning the tape on, and then it is like the sound quality just
full
changes.
studio, right?
Yeah, and like it didn't take me out of the film by any stretch.
I know the scene you're talking about now, actually. I remember that too. Yeah, they go into one of their heavier rock songs. He's on stage. He's got the red guitar and he's strumming it. And about halfway through his first couple of strums, it does switch over to a pre-recorded. You don't hear the sound of the auditorium anymore or anything. So I did remember that. You're right. But that was the only one time that ever really occurred to me.
It's just one of those like if I'm not going to give it 100, there has to be a reason. So I had to choose some pretty small things, right?
Fair.
Yeah. All right. Give me 8 seconds while I just tally some scores.
Come and tally my score. I've been waiting for reviews. This is our rating with Brian, Dan, and Will is there too.
If you don't think I'm clipping that and using that in some capacity, you are insane.
Oh, wow. We love the musicals up in this bish.
Have you, I'm assuming you've heard when somebody, like, not right now because we're using Restream as opposed to OBS, but when somebody types in > movies, have you ever heard that on my stream?
Yes.
It's the movie show with Manguli. Flipping that.
All too much cleaning agent on the Manguli show. I stand by that.
You have an awful lot of Dan on your show as well.
Well, people redeem one Dan for sure, a lot. It's also my cheapest redeem for a reason.
Oh, I see. All right.
Because I love to encourage people to play it.
I think. Right about there. Oop.
Oh, man, I guess I have to pick a quality movie next time so y'all don't think I just have terrible movie taste. Goodness.
It's okay. We know you have terrible movie taste.
Whoa.
You know, I think the audience would agree with you more often than me, so realistically. All right.
Cleaning agent, I tried to give you a shout out, but I suck at shout outs, so.
It's all good. I appreciate you.
Maybe somebody in chat can do that.
Well, it's because, see, Will's not actually in my chat, so I can't do @cleaning agent and have it autofill everything else. And frankly, I just let my mods do all that stuff anyway.
Same.
Yeah.
But then I go back to be in somebody else's chat. They'll be like, hey, can one of my mods just like, yeah, I'll pay you back. I don't know the commands.
100%. Yep, that's it.
All right.
This is why half the time I'm lurking in other people's stream, I do it incognito under one of my false Twitch accounts because I'll be doing stuff and I'm doing dishes or whatever, and I don't want to be texting anybody, so I just go incognito.
I love Bubba Hotep, no shade on him, but it's the worst thing about his stream is I just like every time I show up, it just there can be only one, and it like takes over for like 10 seconds. I'm like, damn it. No.
Can I guess, Run 7, that your incognito name is like Walking 4 or something?
Nope, no. You'd never guess it, and I'm never gonna tell you guys because I want that anonymity from sometimes when I can just go in. I will tell you this, I never chat as those people because and I've got like 5 false Twitch accounts. So
I think you have a problem.
He was trying to make partner, guys. Give him a break.
Yeah, I know. You know how many laptops are heating up this office trying to boost my numbers right now? 13 viewers, 7 of them are me.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we have Sing Street coming in 4th place on our individual list. This is a mix of the March Movie Madness as well as the Patreon picks with an 81. That was a 94 from me, a 71 from Brian, and that's not right. You didn't have a 72.
You botched this whole thing. 78.
78. My apologies.
That's fine.
30 seconds. I do want to start actually saying the scores out loud again more often because for the audio listeners, it is nice to hear that. I hate when I'm listening to a podcast. They're like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, what are we talking about? And they'll just talk about this picture that nobody can see. I'm like, you bastards. All right, let's see. Let's try that again. Take 2. We'll fix it in post. And with that, we see Sing Street coming in 4th place with a score of 81. That was a 94 from me, a 71 from Brian, and a 78 from Will. Guys, how do you feel about this score?
It's a feel-good movie. It feels good there. I'm okay with it.
I like it better than Shutter Island, actually. I think it's got its problems, and that's why my score is lower than Shutter Island's score, but for fun, for entertainment, for what I want to watch, I would come back to Sing Street before I come back to Shutter Island. But I do like Moon better than Sing Street, so I think it fits pretty well right there.
That's fair. I was also pretty happy to see it come above Shutter Island. I'm not going to lie. I think I think the top 4 movies here are ones that I would pretty happily watch again at some point. And then, it gets sketchier after that for me.
Yeah.
We're not going to like everything, and that's A-okay.
Part of the fun.
Honestly, I've said this before. I really like it when our opinions diverge drastically and we have really different views of what was good and what isn't. And I'm almost frustrated sometimes when we all come in within 5 points of each other or something. Yeah, and it's like, I know Dan saw me laughing like almost the entire way through at the watch party, so he knew I was going to be enjoying this at least to a degree. But I really did kind of want to like scare him or stick it to him or come in and make it sound like I was going to bomb this movie. But it's a feel-good movie. It's done right, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you like the second the movie was done, you're like, I don't want to give Dan anything. Bye, click, and you were gone. I'm just like, dude,
Plus,
you were
I had to
laughing the
pee real
entire
bad
time.
too.
I already had everything.
Yeah.
If you'd stuck around, I probably would have quoted the Princess Bride, like, "You fool! You've given everything away." I know what the poison is.
Yeah. That darn camera. If I wasn't so vain, I'd turn it off. But
I think it's great that you got it on. When we first started doing, I'm going to do the outro and then we can talk about this.
okay,
Sure.
All right, that's our rating of Sing Street, but what's yours? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Is this a movie you've seen or heard of before, or is this your first time hearing about it? We record these live over at twitch.tv/The Mongoolie Show, so you can head over there and hit the follow button if you want to check us out live, or if you want to see these more of these videos, make sure you hit like and subscribe on this one so we see you in the next one. That was awful. That was just bad.
what was wrong with that?
I just, the amount of times I said the same thing at the end there just got me, but whatever. It'll be fine. Well, it'll be fine.
Maybe I've heard your outro too many times. I kind of zoned you out anymore. I'm just sitting here reading chat.
I really like that you're on camera during the watch party. I wanted to be on camera for this one specifically because it was my movie, and I just want to engage more. When we first started doing the watch party, I thought we'd be talking throughout the movie. I'm kind of glad that we're not, because you get to actually enjoy the movie, especially for ones that we are rating. If we were just watching something for fun on a Tuesday, maybe I'd be more okay with just like, yeah, let's just talk through it and just have a good time with it. Like Flight Plan, when you watch that, it'd be like,
I would have definitely enjoyed talking over Flight Plan. Would have definitely enjoyed that.
But unfortunately, with the camera angle or with the camera chugginess and whatnot, I was like, I just turned off everything I could to try to make the movie run as fast as possible. And I don't know that it even did after that, but oh well. But if you could see my face, literally, like I'm not just saying this like when you LOL and you're not actually laughing, but like I was smiling for so much.
I could feel Dan being like, oh, this part's coming up. They're gonna like this part.
Yeah, he was giddy.
Honestly, like I couldn't tell you exactly when it happened, but it was definitely after the bully in the bathroom, where it was just like I just relaxed and was like, no, this is a good movie. Like whether they like it or not, I love it, and that's good enough. And then I kind of settled in and was fine. But I was nervous, especially after rating your guys' films.
When
Rumble in the Bronx is the exact same. It's a great movie. Whether you like it or not is irrelevant.
That's totally fair. Especially with Brian knowing that I didn't give his movie the high score that he wanted to, knowing that he hates child actors, knowing that he doesn't like musicals. I didn't even know he didn't like coming of age stories, but there's another one to throw on top of the fire. So I was just like,
yeah,
cool.
This was treading dangerous territory. I think the reason I didn't watch this, because I saw the trailer and I was like, that looks really cool and different and fun, but it's a musical with child actors about a coming of age. And so I'm like, no way am I going to go sit through that, because I know I'm going to hate it. And I'm glad I got to finally see it. It was really good.
That's really cool. I like that little cherry on top.
The cherry on the top.
All right. Honestly, I've had a bunch of late nights. I'm probably going to bounce a little bit, but before I go, Brian, what do you got going on this weekend? You gonna be live or hanging out ever at all, or?
This week, probably just gonna be my Sunday Cyberpunk stream. I got back into that. Loving that game as always, having a lot of fun. It's a very chill space for me to just kind of hang out with chat. I'm looking for more games reminiscent of Marvel Strike Force, in that they're turn-based where I can stop and have lots of conversations at any moment. I don't want like a first-person shooter. I miss having the interaction with chat more often. So I am looking for those type of games. But in the meantime, I still have a slew of games that I'm trying to get through and play. I'm enjoying Arc Raiders, although I don't get to play that much on stream. So mostly right now, it's kind of my Sunday streams, but I am clearing up my schedule. This month's still pretty packed, but I'm clearing up my work schedule so that I can be in touch with people more often.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you during your thing that I asked you. Have you tried Slay the Spire?
I have not tried Slay the Spire.
Slay the Spire is fantastic. It's turn-based. It's not, there's no timer to it whatsoever. You can take your time with it.
Builder, right?
It's different every time you play it, and it is a one-time purchase, so you don't like feel that like, oh, I need to buy the new character, I need to buy the new character. The second one just came out, so it's doing relatively well on Twitch. I mean, the first one was still doing well on Twitch a couple of months ago, and now the second one's out. Like,
So it's Slay the Spire 2?
Slay the Spire 2. I mean, you can pick up the first one for like $6. You can pick up the second one for like 20. I would probably go with the second one personally. It's just everything the first one is and more. But when I play that on stream, I feel that Marvel Strike Force itch where like chat can kind of help me out a little bit with certain things, or I could just stop playing entirely and just have a conversation about this food truck that I went to the other day. It's really nice because I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, first person shooters are fun, but there's a point where I'm like, I am ignoring chat to do this.
Yeah.
And I could do that on my couch.
I come here to interact with people, not just play video games. So I like that. That's one reason why I enjoy going to Will's streams and your streams as well, Dan, because you do a lot of platformers where you get to stop and talk. But Will's stream as well has tons and tons and tons of interactivity with chat. So those are my favorites.
Yeah. Oh, Demillion brings up a good point. It's also co-op, the second one. So if you ever wanted to, I know Bubba Hotep has it.
So
I have it.
those are my favorites.
Thanks for the raid.
Oh,
Appreciate
Demillion
you.
brings up a good point.
We can play together up to 4 players. So if you ever wanted to, I know Bubba Hotep has it. I have it. There's no
Time constraint.
pushing you along. Now that can get a bit